What's up? What's up? What's up, guys? Okay, so today we're going to talk about the Mr. Olympia's coming up. We got Hadi Choopan versus Derek. I think that's going to be number one and number two. Excuse me, I haven't been on here in a while. I was crazy, so I went and did stem cell in Mexico about a couple months ago, and then the doctor said, take about a month from working out, and then the owner said, hey, take maybe like 2 weeks out. So I came back. I took about 2 weeks out from working out, and I was going to try to compete again this year at the Heart of Texas, which is in 5 weeks. But I was crazy, and I'm like, okay, the Battle of Texas is in 3 weeks. I have a client I'm prepping for it for the Open Pro division, and let me try to be crazy and do a 3-week contest prep after I haven't done a contest in, like 8-9 years, or almost 10 years. So it was a horrible idea because, 3 weeks is not how you prep for a show, but my metabolism is so crazy and fast. And so in that 3 weeks, I only did cardio about 4 times, and then that just ramped my metabolism up. So when I went to Mexico, I weighed about 260, just being there, not eating much, just, walking around a lot, doing the stem cell, being put under, all that kind of stuff. I lost about 15 pounds there. So when I got back, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have prepped for a show. I should have let my body recover, rested. But I went ahead, and then my metabolism sped up so fast, it literally just, all the fat ate up off me. My face was just like, all the fat went off. I was dealing with some like GI stress issues with my stomach. And I haven't had a, bodybuilder diet where you eat, 6 meals a day. Basically I was pretty much eating 50 grams of protein every meal, about 20 grams of fat, and about 50 grams of carbs. Okay. So what happened was it sped my metabolism up so fast. I weighed in at 220, and I lost a lot of muscle in that 3 weeks. I wasn't sleeping either. First of all, I had insomnia, and then my little one, he's 5. He has like sleep, separation issues. So he wakes us up literally 3 times a night. So I went on stage. I didn't look good. There's only a few in each class. I won my class open and then the over 35 masters. I won, but my body did not look good. My face did not look good. So that was a mistake. Now I took a week off after that show, didn't train at all, just started trying to eat a bunch of, kind of junk food to get my body back to normal. Okay. So if I decide to compete again, which, I lost my kind of passion for it when I had to have surgeries years ago. And then I had several surgeries, and then, dealing with back pain, neck pain, all that kind of stuff. It's just, herniated disc. You can't train 100%. Okay. So if I decide to do it again, it would be next year, and I would do a full prep. So I would do, like probably an 8-week prep for me. And then I would make sure I had enough tissue on my body before I dieted down, because realistically on stage at about 5'9.5", 5'10", 9'5", 9'5", 5'10", I should, be around 240, like shredded. So beyond that, okay. So make sure to check out our new products out. Okay, first we got our GDA called Conde. GDA it lowers your blood sugar. So if you're taking any type of growth hormone, whether it be synthetic, peptides, MK677, like our Ceromax that you can experiment with, you need to check your blood sugars. So, you can go to CVS and get a little blood sugar monitor and check it a few times a day. And then we got our other product out, which has been out about a month, called Wicked Pumps. This is a crazy pump product. This is no stimulants either. This is all on my website now, armandadb.com. The AMG website will be up probably in a couple weeks. Then we just came out with our glycerol product, okay? Glycerol pump serum. Most glycerol products out there is just plain glycerol, okay? And this one has glycerol, but it has 4 other pump products. You can check on our site. And then our fat burner, which this is a crazy, crazy thermogenic. This is called DNP burn. Of course, it's not the actual DNP. That's just the name of it. This is for someone that is prepping for a show, dieting. It helps control, your appetite, but it's not something you want to take long-term, as it's a stimulant, and you don't want to get your body used to that. Okay, so make sure to check those out on armandadb.com while the new site is being built, AMG Labs. Okay, so we'll answer a few questions and we'll talk about Hadi versus Derek. So I've been watching some of Derek training videos and some of Hadi's training videos. They both have their strengths and weaknesses. Hadi has that like grainy look. For some reason, I'm half Persian. He's from Iran. Those guys get that grainy, thin paper skin type look. Last year, Hadi lost it to Derek. He came in off. His backside was a little watery, and then Derek, from the back, he is so dry. Like his glutes are so peeled. His back is just crazy the way it hangs, And both these guys are short. They're like 5'6", 5'7". I think Hadi is about 5'7", maybe 5'8", and Derek is like 5'6", 5'6.5". But Derek's lats are just crazy. They just like hang down like Ronnie Coleman's did. But from the front, Derek, he has that big full chest and shoulders. But when it comes to showtime, it doesn't have that hard striated look all through the chest and shoulders. And he's been training long enough. I think it's just genetic, and he's still, he's younger than Hadi, so he still's got some years to build up. Hadi's training, though, he's doing some pretty crazy things, and I totally get it. For one of my shows in 2011 Nationals, my strength was like through the roof. So it's kind of hard to kind of gauge back on your training when you're so strong, but you got to remember, your muscles are getting stronger than your, ligaments and tendons and all that. And Hadi's doing some pretty, some people just have those genetics where they can just do crazy exercises, and it's not benefiting him gaining muscle. I mean, doing deadlifts, 3 times with whatever 6 or 7 plates, that's not benefiting him muscle wise. He's just so strong. That's the way he trains. So both their coaches is Hadi. Okay, so Hadi, coached me for 2 years when I was competing. He doesn't have him train like that, but Hadi's hard-headed, and he's over here in Iran doing these crazy lifts. Like I see him doing like T-bar rows, like not the correct way. So Derek's training is a little more, I think, better, and like the injury prone wise. Because if another person was doing these exercises like Hadi, they would have got injured. So you can't look at these guys and emulate their training. They're genetic freaks. These are the genetic freaks of the world. So let me know who you guys have winning, Hadi or Derek. Of course, you're going to have to see them up on stage, and they both have their strengths and weaknesses. I think it's going to be a really exciting Olympia. I was going to go this year, but I'm just so busy with other things, and I'm going to take a vacation, finally a cruise, which I haven't been on a vacation in probably over 5 years, which is much needed. And then coming up in about 3 weeks, I have some clients competing at the Heart of Texas. They're coming into town, and so staying busy with all that. Okay. All right. I'll answer some questions here, guys. What do you think about my chance for competing? I'm not sure. A lot of the guys, a lot of times you need to get a consultation. I do consultations on my website. You can set that up. 30-minute consults are only $150. I have you send you my pictures, whatever goals you're trying to do. If you're trying to compete or just do lifestyle, we go over all that kind of stuff. Have you ever heard of even low dose destroying someone's blood sugar. It happens to me and it freaks me out. So I don't think I should mess with GH. Yeah, everybody's completely different. That's why, that's why a lot of people take insulin when they take growth hormone to kind of manage that out. But if you're just doing a low dose growth hormone, our product GDA Convey, which is going to lower your blood sugars, is something you could take with that, and you would probably be fine with your blood sugar. So make sure you check that out on my website. So Hadi used to have Nerf balls in his shoulders. Okay, so shoulders. My shoulders, people think I put stuff in my shoulders a lot, and I don't. The way you can tell is if the shoulder gets striated. And a lot of the guys today, they have big, full, round shoulders, but they have no striations in them. And the reason for it, because, some are using site enhancement oil, some are putting a lot of the gear in their shoulders, which causes scar tissue. And over time, it just blurs the lines, which I'm not a fan of. And, Hadi's shoulders have got better. But these guys, they run out of stuff. They run out of stuff to where to put it in all that. So, that's the problem with that. So, they didn't seem to count off for that. So it is what it is. That it looks like his shoulders are getting better. So he's probably staying away from that and not shooting that up. Am I out bad with Larry? No, you guys gotta understand. I started back my YouTube channel a couple months ago. I said, hey, I need to start doing this. We did a couple shows together. I'm really busy. Other people's busy. It's hard to coordinate. I have so many guests that I want to bring on. I have people for skincare. I have genetic doctors, plastic surgeons, pain management doctors. So I have a lot of guests I'm going to bring on here, and eventually we'll get that done. But no, it's just, it's too hard to match up with certain people, time and all that. Like today, I just randomly got time to jump on, and now I'm here. Have you seen the news? Iranian Americans go to visit Iran and get arrested for espionage, government of Iran. Okay, so my dad is from Iran. He came over here when he was 18, and then he went back once. I've never been to Iran. Some really bad things have happened to some family members of mine over there. One of my aunts, I never met her, but she came over here and went to school for a while in Oklahoma. And then she went back over there. She was like, for women's rights in Iran. And she was at like, kind of like a rally type deal. And she got, she was shot in the head and killed by some random bullet from the government. I have some uncles that go over there. One uncle that goes over there still. But when my mom was alive, my dad never took her over there. It's a scary place, and he never felt comfortable taking us over there. And, he's been talking about going back soon because he needs to do with some stuff with some property and some family members and stuff over there. But it's just not a safe place. And, I have no desire to ever go visit, even though that's kind of like where my background is. And, my dad's from there. This is not something on my bucket list. So I am going to Turkey. So that will be my first time, out of the country since I think went to London. So I will be going to Turkey in probably the November time, getting a hair transplant. They're doing it for free. So that's pretty cool. They're flying me and another person out, which would be my wife. I'll take a lot of people when they get hair transplants, they get it done and come back in like a 3 to 4 day period. I'm going to stay longer than that, experience Istanbul, walk, visit stuff, kind of see the, the city. And then I'll probably get the transplant on day like 4 or 5. And then you have to stay about three days after that and then fly back. So. I prefer Derek's shape over Hadi's diesel from, shape wise, of course, Derek, he does that front double bicep, and the lats, the rear lat spread and, back double bicep. And he just has that really tiny waist and crazy shape. But then Hadi, he has that grainy condition. And Derek, for some reason, doesn't have that in the front, which I've never seen that much of, but you know, it is what it is. So I feel you. I haven't been to Mexico since I was 16. I'm 35 now. Certain things keep me away. I was born there too. Yeah, I was there. I was talking about going to Iran, but yeah, Mexico. I was just no, I wasn't there last week. I was there about a month and a half ago doing stem cell. And if you watch the beginning of the episode, I talk about getting stem cell there and all that stuff. I'm 42 years old and I used steroid just once when I was 25. I have a very unique Persian genetics. What do you think if I want to compete? I'm 42, old, and I'm old and best in my gym. I think everybody should compete once. I mean, I have clients that hire me a lot. They're just lifestyle clients, and they just want to get in shape. And then I'm like, next thing we're competing eventually. So I think everybody should step on stage at least once. Like I said, you can always get a consultation with me. Set it up on my website, and I'll be realistic with you. Like, hey, we need to do an off season first, and then roll into a prep and all that. So I would need to see pictures. We would have to talk about your history and your goals and, and all that stuff. So yeah, that's the last time I was out of the country except Mexico. It was London. I was there. I left right before the royal wedding. So that was back in 2010, I believe. So no, not at all. I didn't even entertain that situation. It's, a photo shoot's a photo shoot. That particular photographer, he photoshops a lot, and people don't understand all the photo shoots over all the years, all the covers, they shop everything. I don't ever go do anything to my own picture. That photographer, that's his style, and it's obvious that he does that. So, it was, people just do videos for views, and I'm not going to entertain something like that. And then when I got on stage, did I look good? No, I didn't look good when I got on stage. I mean, who preps 3 weeks for a show? No one. And so I burned so much muscle off in those 3 weeks that I prepped. Yeah, I haven't touched opiates, and people start rumors and say all that. My lack of sleep and not sleeping, makes me exhausted. So that whole thing, it's just like gotten out of control, and it's ridiculous. So no, you guys got to understand, this is my channel. I've had guests on, and like I said, I'll continue to have guests on in the future. I have a lot of guests that want to really come on. I've been really crazy busy the last few weeks, but I had time today. So I'm going to jump on here and talk about Derek versus Hadi for a little bit, because I think that's going to be number one and number two. Samson, and then you got Samson, and then you got Andrew Jack, which I just saw Andrew Jack in person compete at the Texas Pro. He's made some improvements. I don't think those guys have a shot for 1 and 2 this year. Next year is a different story, but I think 1 and 2 is going to be Hadi and Derek, and I think it's going to be an exciting Mr. Olympia. I was initially going to go, but I waited too long. All the tickets are sold out, and I'm not sure if I'm able to get another press pass through RX Muscle. So, and I need to take a vacation. I haven't been on a vacation in a long time, so I got a cruise set up in about 6 weeks. So that's going to be nice. I'm in Dallas. The ship leaves out of Galveston, so that's like a 4-hour drive there. And it's Harmony of the Seas. It's a beautiful ship. They have Harmony of the Seas, Allure of the Seas, which I got married actually on Allure of the Seas that went out of Miami. So yeah, it's just matching up times, and I just really have a hard time. Like I said, I have a lot of guests that I need to get on here. This is my channel, and so we've done a couple of shows together, but it's hard to make that time to kind of set up. I've been extremely busy lately. So guys, leave down below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm going to trying to be doing stuff at least once a week on here. Like I said, I got a lot of good guests that I need to bring on. that relates to bodybuilding. Bodybuilding and skincare, which is really important. You've got a lot of bodybuilders with skin problems, obviously taking from certain hormones. I've got one of my good friends that's going to come on. He owns a pain clinic, and he is very versed. We're going to talk about a lot of different things, because bodybuilders experience a lot of pain, injuries, and all that. And we'll get him in there and talk about that. So, yeah, people just say stuff, man, and it's just like people open their mouths sometimes and they don't know what they're doing. They don't know, and then it just gets like silly rumors started. So it is what it is. So I would make an excellent guest, except the interesting stuff that I talk about would get you sued, maybe killed. Yeah, I have a lot of people that I can bring on. Like I said, I'm not one of these people that have to be interviewing something, only bodybuilding people. I can do, like I said, I can have friends on to talk about crazy stories from when I was younger and all that stuff. But you guys can send me a message on my IG. And if you think you'd be a good guest, tell me why and like your story and kind of all that. The interview with your artist friend was really good as well. It was really inspiring to see him follow his passion for art and getting out of the 9-to-5 race. Yeah, so he did a really good job transforming his body. I'm coaching him now, so he's going to take his body even to the next level now. So that's going to be pretty exciting. Do you think bodybuilders now have better nutrition than your period? No, I think when I was competing, we were a lot more strict with our nutrition, and it depends on the person too. A lot of people today, they like doing Rice Krispie treats, gummy bears, and all that kind of stuff. And I think, when you prep for a show, the best thing you could do is whole foods. Protein powders are good when you can't get meals in, but doing just straight whole foods, whether it be chicken, eggs, and a lot of people do too much protein powders. And I understand if you're busy and you can't get a meal in, but and it's a full-time job. Like when you compete, it's a full-time job and it's repetitive. And the longer you do it, it's robotic. You eat, sleep, and train. It's a very, very boring life. And after people do it for years, you miss out on a lot of things in life. Hey, I want to go trip skiing. I want to go do this. And you can't do a lot of things because you're afraid to get injured. So, most bodybuilders have kind of like a love-hate relationship with competing. And I think some people it's good for, and then others it's not okay for mentally. People handle the compounds differently. And you've got to be crazy to compete because you're, putting your body through a lot. Love to hear about Suboxone and bodybuilding. I can talk about that on another episode. I have my experience with that and a lot of friends getting on maintenance stuff from the painkillers. So with the art I see being exposed through Instagram, it's really amazing what people are creating and they can make a lot of doing it. Yeah, you get the right clientele for your artwork and you build a name for yourself. And, like my friend, my late friend, Chris Jalali, he passed away. We were kind of up and coming bodybuilding together. We were doing a lot of magazine stuff together. We were best friends. He was a great artist too. And I was like, man, you need to sell your paintings. And he's like, who do I sell them to? I'm like, dude, you have a fan base. And he started selling his paintings for several $1,000s a piece. And some people were willing to pay $7,000, $8,000. So, I like seeing people follow their dreams. A 9-to-5 is not for everybody. I know when I was younger, I'm like, I never want to have a 9-to-5. That's just not my personality and having a boss. And that's how I got into bodybuilding and coaching at such a young age. Right now, I see a lot Yeah, let me see what's going on with the feed.